Hello, my name is Aaron, and I am the host of Doors of the Universe podcast. Sometimes my life gets hectic. Sometimes I don't have time to do all the research I would like to, or I don't have the focus to do the research I would like to bring you a quality episode. And when that happens, you will get a lovely episode like you're going to come across today. These episodes are going to be episodes from another podcast I was a part of called We Don't Talk Politics. This was a podcast I did with two of my friends where we got together and we just talked about whatever we wanted to. It was a lot of fun, but it's also hard getting three adults together to be able to get together and have a time to actually sit down, research, record a podcast. So we ended up stopping doing that. I continued on because I love doing podcasts. I love doing the research. I love just learning more about the world of cryptids and the paranormal and the unknown. So I started the Doors of the Universe podcast. And that is the podcast you would normally be listening to on this channel or this playlist, wherever you are, whether on Spotify, YouTube, or one of the many other great places that this podcast is streamed. But either way, when I get too busy, we're going to do these episodes. These are going to be some of my favorite episodes from We Don't Talk Politics, and you get to relive these stories or hear these stories again because I'm too busy, I'm too tired, and sometimes I need a break from doing this. Sometimes I just don't have the time to do this, even though I would love to. What I'm going to do next is do a section where I just move my mouth and I tell you this is what the episode's going to be on, and today's episode is going to be on the Mothman. So I hope you enjoy this episode as much as I did initially making this with my friends. But yeah, thank you for checking it out. As always, check the socials. I think most of the We Don't Talk Politics podcast socials are no longer... Well, I know they're no longer active because I was running them. But check out the Doors of the Universe podcast socials. Follow, like, subscribe. Do whatever works for you. And either way, keep an eye to the sky. And here's your episode for the day. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Sean Patrick.
And I'm Ryan.
And we don't talk politics. I personally want to apologize for this episode. I feel like I did a lot of research, but I feel like I was also lacking on this one. If I could just be honest. It's been I don't know. It seemed like there was the information. I had all the information, but getting it pieced together to make it come out smoothly or whatever just didn't seem to. And there'll be a lot of editing done, so it'll sound a lot smoother once it's actually brought out to all of you.
We could put the segment at the beginning of the episode. But I mean, no, I don't think you were bad at all. You had to take some time to look some stuff up, but I was exceedingly prepared for this. Yeah. So I think that's what's nice about our gruesome twosome is that we kind of make up for one another. Because you helped make up for me on the AI stuff and my lack of preparation. And this time,
that's fucking teamwork.
What's your favorite dish?
Stop. This isn't a duet.
I was talking to Paul, my roommate, about it. Food for him is very much a lot of times he'll eat something because he wants to, but most of the time he eats it because he has to. Because, he has to have food. So he goes on these tangents where he'll buy the same thing and only eat that. Only that. So right now he gets these frozen. It's usually something frozen. These frozen or microwavable, frozen breakfast bowls. So it's like bacon, egg, and cheese hash browns. And
sounds delicious.
Yeah, they're not. And so they come in they're not good. I've tried them. They are good. But they're quick, and he can throw them in the microwave for 2.5 minutes, throw a half bottle of buffalo sauce on it, and scarf it down, then he's good for the afternoon. So
and I think there's the, I don't know. I feel like some people have a connection with food that's, some people connect to it as, I don't know, a pleasure sensor. And some people connect to it as just as this fuel for my body. I have to eat. If I don't eat, it's whatever. Yeah.
My old man was like that. He would, it was very rare that he would eat food because he wanted to. Or when he was ready to eat, that he would eat something that he's like, oh, I'm really excited to have this piece of meat, or I'm really excited to eat this lasagna or this salad or whatever it was. It was always, I'm eating now because I have to. And it was just, with me sitting next to him, that's a weird concept. Mr. Food Addiction over here with this guy eating because he has to. Eating because he's gotta. But that'd be a fun topic to talk about sometime. But not today.
Not today.
We have a whole other topic today, don't we, Mr. Foley?
There's things that need to be talked about.
What are we talking about today?
We had a listener request.
Yay!
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, it is.
And I have no problem doing cryptid talks.
What?
And cryptid.
Oh, cryptid.
Yes, which I'm looking up the definition now. Cryptid, for those that don't know, some dictionaries and encyclopedias define the term cryptid as an animal whose existence is unsubstantiated. Basically, any of your mythical creatures that haven't been proven to be real yet, such as Sasquatch, Loch Ness Monster, things of that nature. But today, we're talking about the Mothman.
The Mothman. So, yeah. So, many people know Mothman from the very classy Richard Gere, I think Laura Linney was in it, movie from like early 2000s, late 90s, about this guy that had this experience with this giant winged beast and what happened. Based on true stories, or true enough, about the Mothman. The movie was called The Mothman Prophecies. It's really what brought it to the forefront of pop culture with the Mothman. You can see the Mothman in pop culture all over the place, even in video games. Me and Aaron, for a while, they were playing Fallout 76 until Aaron abandoned me and stopped playing with me because he's a jerk. But we'll leave that for another story. Piece of crap. Anyway, but even in there's the Mothman and the creature. So the Mothman,
because it's set, the story is set in, or the location of Fallout 76 is in West Virginia, and which is
where the Mothman happened.
The initial sightings of Mothman.
Yeah, and the Mothman was sighted in Point Pleasant area, the Point Pleasant, West Virginia area. Actually, it was the Mothman creature was first seen in November of 1966 and went on for about 13 months. And then it culminated in a really, really big disaster in the area that we'll talk about later on in the program. What's really wild about the Mothman and what makes him so unique, because like you hear Mothman, you figure that this is some sort of creature that we've been seeing for thousands of years or been seeing up to recently, and it really hasn't. In my research, I was only able to find 2 other points since the 60s that the Mothman has been potentially sighted, once in Russia and then a couple times here in Chicago recently. But what makes the Mothman so wild is how popular it became and how often it was seen. The Mothman has been documented, seen in the Point Pleasant, West Virginia area well over 100 times just in those 13 months. In fact, during that time, the local sheriff's office even went out looking for the Mothman. they looked. There's this. It's now a wildlife reserve about 5 miles outside of the Point Pleasant County area, where there was a TNT factory that was in operation during World War II. When it was in operation, it was producing somewhere around like 500,000 pounds per day or something of TNT. Aaron, you can confirm that for me. But and then eventually it just shut down. And that TNT factory, which is now just a wildlife preserve, is where the Mothman's home was. The Mothman itself was pretty terrifying. Aaron, what did the Mothman really look like?
They were saying around 6'10".
I think from the accounts that I read, it was either as short as 6 foot and as tall as 7 foot, but not like a giant creature.
He had a 15-foot wingspan. He had eyes that were either red. There's different accounts. Either they were red eyes or glowing red eyes.
It was either gray, black,
brown. I mean, he looked like a man that was a moth.
Yeah, hence the name.
It's the name. He had the body like the body of a man, but wings like a moth. And I would say he doesn't have much of a neck. It was just kind of like the head's
just the head,
to the shoulders.
It was as if he were headless, and his face was, other than these bright red glowing eyes, which is oddly enough, the most distinguishable part of a giant flying man. His face itself was pretty featureless. There's one account where a man was no more than 5 feet in front of the Mothman and really couldn't make out any of his features. Just that he stood and looked like a man, but he was more like a bird because of his giant wings and his glowing red eyes. The Mothman was pretty peaceful, you could say. It would harass people in their cars, flying next to their vehicles. It had otherworldly strength when it came to flight, as if it were defying physics. Flying 0 to 100 miles an hour wildly quickly, being able to change directions in the air, going straight up just like a helicopter. In one account, they were flying next to the vehicle. And actually, the first documented account where an article was written, these people were driving 56 miles an hour, and the Mothman was able to keep up with them. But it didn't kill anybody that we know of. The only account that I could find of an actual death is with a German Shepherd that was killed. So, other than that, not really. Did you see anything about the Mothman killing anybody?
No. A lot of people think he's more of someone that shows up when there's a warning of something bad about to happen. So, more of a omen or whatever.
Yeah.
But
what do you think about that? So, in your opinion, I don't think that it's a harbinger of doom. I think it's an unfortunate circumstance. Granted, it was never seen after the fact. So what we're talking about is in, I believe it was December 15th, 1966, the Silver Bridge, which is a bridge there in Point Pleasant, collapsed. When it collapsed, it killed 46 people. It was collapsed during rush hour. Killed 46 people, injured many, many more. In fact, 2 people were never recovered from the wreckage. And was a horrific event in the area. So a lot of people believe is because 13 months before that, and then never seen after, that the Mothman was trying to warn these people of this upcoming disaster. I don't think it was trying to. I could be a harbinger. I would be okay with saying that and just showing up during that time, but I don't think it was trying to warn anybody. Because no warning was actually done. Didn't fly over the bridge. Wasn't ever seen there. Was always seen at the TNT factory.
Well, they said there was supposedly reports of being seen on the bridge during the time of the crash.
Okay.
During the time of the wreck, or the collapse. The thing is that the bridge itself, when it was made, they were running, I think, Model Ts on it.
Yeah, it was way underweight.
So, yeah, it was. Part of the reason was that. But I mean, the bridge was made, when was it made? Let's see here. 1928. It opened in 1928. So it lasted 1967.
It lasted like 38 years or something.
Yeah, which isn't super long for a bridge.
But even when it collapsed due to a 2.3 millimeter defect. Like the small little crack in, like, I believe it was a bolt or something, is what made it collapse, which personally is absolutely terrifying. I remember in Minneapolis when that one bridge collapsed up there due to a similar situation and started a lot of the bridge fixing and the bridge reform that we're seeing throughout the United States now.
You've seen Mothman Prophecies, right?
Yeah. I don't remember it well, but I've seen it.
I think I watched it Saturday. But it's just, that's the thing. They have like the Mothman, and I don't know if it's, that's how I've been trying to figure out how, because they bring in Indrid Cold in it too.
Indrid Cold. The kind of like the G-Man, like the guy that was like the ominous figure that came out of nowhere and like showed up and then disappeared again. Right.
Which some people think he's government, some people think he's an alien. Which he's it's somebody that hasn't been proven to be real. But there was, what was it? Same year, 1966, November 2nd. There was Woodrow Derenberger. He was driving home from work. He was stopped in the middle of the road when he saw a cigar-shaped vessel. And out walks Indrid Cold. And the ship apparently goes straight up in the air, like 75 feet, he said. And he walks up to the car and asks them to roll down his window. And he rolls down his window. And he's asking them where the biggest city is. If this is the city is right here, the biggest city or whatever. He's like, and one thing he said is, there was a lot of weird interactions. I watched an actual interview with the Woodrow Derenberger. Well, I listened to it. And he said how this, like, a city's called a gathering where he's from. He told him not to be frightened. That he wasn't there to harm him or anything. But also he talks about how after the whole thing was over, he realized that no words had been spoken the entire conversation. Like, they hadn't communicated verbally the entire conversation. It was all done via telepathy.
Indrid Cold could be an episode in and of itself. People claim that they still see him down in West Virginia, like up to this day. So Indrid Cold, also known as the Grinning Man, as Aaron was saying, is a creepy dude that continues to pop up all the time. He claims that he is an alien, and I have it here. One second, let me find it. Where exactly he's from? According to experts made by Woodrow Derenberger, the guy that saw him in West Virginia, Cold came from a planet named Landlunos in the Great Gemedes galaxy, and that there are two other grinning men by the name of Demo Hassan and Carl Ardo. He was first seen in New Jersey. I remember that. Two young men found him in New Jersey. He's wearing a green suit with a black belt. Big grin. And then the big sighting there in West Virginia with Woodrow.
But he also keeps showing up around the time of the Mothman. When it was happening around the same time, sightings as the Mothman, and it was... I'm not exactly sure what the connection is between the two of them, because they're very... they were both in West Virginia in the 1960s, at the same time, in the same area. But in the movie...
area. Yeah, because Ingrid was in Parkersburg, which is like right next to Point Pleasant.
Right. And in the movie, one of the main characters keeps getting visited by Indrid Cold, but is also, and this is all, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, you should watch the movie, get an idea of both. But I mean, it goes along with this, but it doesn't necessarily go along with the main lore, because I feel like...
Well, that's the problem with the movie is it follows the lore somewhat, but of course, not completely. They Hollywoodify it, I guess you could say, and and kind of take their artistic interpretation of a lot of stuff, in comparison to like what the cryptozoology side of things, because it's. Yeah, no, if you guys get a chance, go just Google Indrid, Indrid, cold, just like cold weather. Super weird dude. Believe that he's a part of the Men in Black. I know some people are saying that he's like a rogue agent from the Men in Black, and the Mothman is his cohort / pet / I know Woodrow wrote a book called Visitors from Landulos that talks about his time with Indrid and stuff. Happen to never have read it, but I do know that it's something that exists out there. I don't know where
you can find. He's got like a 30-minute interview on YouTube. I'll include a link to that in the episode notes. But the thing is, with both of them, there's multiple sightings that people have claimed to have seen, and it's the thing with the Mothman. The first sighting was on November 12th, 1966, and there were 5 men digging a grave at a cemetery near Clendenin, West Virginia. They claim to have seen a man-like figure fly low from the trees over their heads. This is often identified as the first known sighting of what became known as the Mothman.
So I have a real problem with this sighting.
Which is?
One guy saw it. He saw it for an entire minute and didn't bother to say anything to the other 4 people during that minute until they were done.
They all saw it.
No, he only one from what I've read. And
everything I've read said all 5 of them saw and claimed to have seen it.
I read the opposite. I read that only the one guy saw it, the son of the person that they were burying, and that he was stunned and shocked and fear, and didn't holler out or anything, and that he saw the Mothman floating for over a minute before he went away. So just differenting. We're just seeing different articles is all. But yeah, that's definitely. But that always stuck with me. It's like, why would you see it and not say anything? I mean, that's just dumb. So it's more reasonable that he said something. But yeah, from what I read, he didn't say anything to anybody.
And that one was actually seen during the day. Most of the other sightings have been at night, but the initial first sighting, and that was the thing. The first sighting happened on the 12th, and then the 2 couples from Point Pleasant that were driving and had the Mothman chase them was on November 15th, and they reported that. Up till before that, they hadn't heard the story of the 5 men at the cemetery. So you've got these 2 stories that are happening right about the same time, within a week of each other,
and they corroborate.
Yeah, so he's seen by multiple people, and both have said they weren't drinking. None of them said they had been, and even like as someone who's gotten drunk on occasion, I never saw anything that I didn't see. Let's put it that way. And
they were just kids. Like they were kids compared to the first group of sightings, or a bunch of dudes, and it really like the scenarios too. Like you have 2 couples on a double date driving driving around the TNT warehouse to just to investigate and look around and have fun. And versus these dudes that are in the middle of the day digging a grave to bury a family member. Like, the scenarios are very, very different as well as to the reasons for what they're doing and being out there. So it's not like everybody was drinking or everybody was in a car or like that. Different areas, different things, like completely different scenarios happening, except for both groups witnessing the Mothman. And then, as I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, the Mothman was seen literally hundreds of times in a mere 13-month period, which is absolutely bonkers that it was seen so often. And that's what makes the mystique in the Mothman so cool to talk about even up to this point. Is like when I started doing a bunch of research, it's been a long time since I've dived in, but I remember back in the day when I first started digging into the Mothman and who he was and what he was about, figuring out that, well, this is super weird that, like, who cares? Like, I thought when I went in looking for the Mothman and about him, I was expecting to hear that, he had been around and he had been seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times over the last 50, 60, 70 years. Like a Jeepers Creepers movie comes around every 30 years, maybe, but then like lots of people have seen him, only to find out that, no, just 13 months back in the 60s, that's it. But because he was seen so much.
And then we have a huge break, and he starts showing up in Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he's been in Chicago apparently for a couple of years now, that people continue to see him in Chicago. Before that, back in 1999, he was witnessed in Moscow. There was he was witnessed before a tragedy in Moscow where there was an apartment bombing that actually caused the second Chechen war in Russia, where 300 people were killed and well over 1,000 others were injured during those apartment bombings in Moscow. And they say that he was witness then. They also say that there was a dark flying figure during that was witnessed by a lot of the people that stayed behind during the Chernobyl disaster as well. And that he was around during the Chernobyl disaster. Nobody ever come out and said, hey, it's the Mothman right away, but that they saw a giant winged creature flying around the facility before Chernobyl occurred as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
the dark bird of Chernobyl. Yeah, so it's I don't know, some theories on what the Mothman is. You got anything?
No idea. I don't know. I mean, I think I haven't even. That's the first time I've ever you've asked that question. I haven't asked myself that question at all. Is what is it? Is it supernatural? Is it biblical? Is it an angel? Is it a demon? Is it some sort of harbinger? Is it something that somebody came up with and just made once like that? Was it a Turin? What'd you?
Tulpa.
Tulpa. Was it a tulpa? Honestly, I have no idea. I couldn't answer that question.
A lot of people have theories that it might be government related, testing out government equipment to try and something with giving the human ability to have flight.
I don't like that answer either.
Yeah.
Because it happened in the 60s.
I know.
Like,
and by now we should have that available if it's...
Bro.
No, I don't. I have no doubt we have... I don't know. I don't think it's impossible that they had flying suits in the 60s.
No, I don't, but I just figured by now we'd see it in normal application in the military if they did.
Right.
40 years later. But
Or maybe it is being used in the military and we don't know about it.
We just don't know about it.
Either way, but they said one of the things was that kind of dissolves that theory is why would you test it in Mount Pleasant unless you were trying to test out maybe some like psychological effects of it or something.
Well, there's the CIA was intentionally dosing private citizens with LSD, and Point Pleasant's only like 500 miles away from the base that they were doing it at.
There you have it. Maybe they were all just on LSD when they saw it.
Could just been in the water. But, you make a good point, though, when it comes to the military, with the TNT plant being right there and the amount of toxic waste that'd have to be left over after creating all that TNT.
Right.
Does that something to do with that? Is this something... Because toxic waste also happened at Chernobyl, right? So, is there something there? There's a lot of consistencies with just as many inconsistencies, which is what makes it so much fun to speculate about.
Right. Possibility of being some type of hybrid.
Maybe it literally is a Mothman.
Maybe it's a man and a moth had
His name
relations. Which that doesn't make any sense. But
Oh, it doesn't make sense.
But I mean, a lot of things don't make sense, and those are my favorite things to look at.
My favorite thing to look at.
Some things we're just not meant to know. I don't know. I think
it's really cool.
There has been talk of it being a planes jumper, something that travels through planes. Which I mean,
do me a favor. I want you. You know what? There it is. Do me a favor. Hold on. Let me find it. All right. I want you to Google Star Trek Discovery Red Angel. And go to your images.
Uh-huh.
So, Star Trek Discovery, which is the most recent, other than Picard, is one of the most recent series for Star Trek. Right. Star Trek Discovery has something called the Red Angel in the first season, which is somebody going to different parts, different timelines in this angel suit and causing a ruckus, you could say. And but if you look at that suit, it's a giant Mothman.
It's very Mothman-esque.
It's very Mothman, right? It's got big wings. It's a very slender body. Just doesn't have red eyes, but it does. The whole thing does glow red.
Well, it's glowing red.
It's definitely glowing red. So yeah, that's So the idea of it being an interdimensional being, maybe it is.
Those are my favorite thoughts anyway, that all these creatures that we don't see are interdimensional. That's a big one with the Yeti, or not the Yeti, with Bigfoot. That we can walk through different dimensions, which is why he hides so easily and only is seen when he's seen. Yeah. But no, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence that these things happen as the Mothman was born. And honestly, it seems like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like nothing in happened when he was being spotted all the time. There was no major deaths or anything, like mass deaths. Do I know what?
I mean, well, even Bigfoot has been spotted a whole bunch in West Virginia.
Right. So maybe there's a portal in West Virginia.
One of those ley lines, whatever they're called. Those what are they called? Ley lines? Is that the right word I'm thinking of? Where like there's like the veil between worlds is thin, they say, and maybe there's one of those over that whole area, and that's why it happens. And I don't know, but it's wild stuff. I think the most interesting part of the whole Mothman thing for me is Indrid Cold. People don't talk about him nearly as much as I think they should. Like you were saying, he's in the movie a bunch because it gives that human aspect. But Indrid Cold is creepy AF. Super weird, super strange. And I think, like poltergeist activity when he's around, and just super sketchy. But Other than that, Mothman hasn't been seen much since. Maybe at Chernobyl with the dark winged beast, but again, they don't necessarily call it Mothman. But there's a lot of similarities there. Russia with apartment bombings, and then up to recently in Chicago, which really makes you wonder about the Chicago thing.
2011.
As recent as 2018.
Right. No, I'm saying it started. He first appeared in 2011.
So.
Maybe he just wanted to retire in Chicago.
It's a nice
I don't
city.
know why. But.
Yeah, other than the murder, that's great.
You can get past the murder.
You can get past the murdering.
Some of the things they've said the Mothman might be confused with. Sandhill crane.
Yeah, have you ever seen a sandhill crane? Very small head.
Small head, and the wingspan's only like 4 feet.
Yeah. But
tops.
It has red around the eye, so that makes it okay.
They've also said there's certain... a barred owl, which has been known to have red eyes and certain lighting.
It weighs 2.5 pounds and stands at most.
It's 16 point. It can be up to 37 ounces.
Ooh.
But I could see that. Look up the barred owl. Look at that face. That's
I know it. I looked it up.
Mothman-esque.
It's very Mothman-esque at 36 ounces. And I think the tallest it get is like 18 inches. Thunderbirds. I did hear one theory that the Mothman might be a Thunderbird.
That is a thought.
So Thunderbird is it's a Native American indigenous people. It's Algonquin. It's a giant bird. Great horned. It's just this giant animal. Throws around lightning, underworld creature thing, creates thunder when it flaps its wings.
Supernatural being of power and strength.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just think it's a cool name.
Yeah, Thunderbird. And we're also going to take a quick break, so we will be right back. And we're back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Aaron went to the bathroom.
I feel much better.
He had...
I drank a lot of coffee and water.
He's a coffee and water fiend.
Mainly water, but there's coffee.
Boy, that coffee. It's a natural diuretic, they say.
That's what they say. I don't know about that.
I've been drinking coffee, too.
Oh, look at you, fancy pants.
I reuse the jug. I make my own cold brew, and then I just fill this up so it's easier to fit in the fridge.
I don't believe you. You're a rich man.
That's true.
You are... You're...
so rich that I reuse...
Some of us have to buy Aldi coffee. Donut shop coffee because we can't afford the Dunkin' coffee.
This isn't Dunkin'. This is Stoke cold brew coffee.
No, I know. I'm saying I buy the Aldi coffee shop brand coffee. You ever had Dunkin' Donuts coffee?
Plenty of times.
That's garbage.
You're garbage. What's wrong with
horrible.
You, shithead.
Quick Trip is the way to go if you're wanting a good cup of joe.
Yeah, if I want
at a reasonable price.
If I want hillbilly coffee, having to fight homeless people for a cup, I'll go to Quick Trip.
You know, one of the things I used to love to do? I'd get really drunk, and I would drive, which is terrible, and I'd go down to Quick Trip, and I'd buy coffee for the homeless guys and sit out there and drink coffee while I sobered up with them. I bought donuts and stuff, too. I was like, you guys need anything? You want anything? And then I'd come out, I'd drink my coffee, and I'd drive home once I sobered up a bit. Which is why...
Not anymore. That's why you're sober.
Right? That was a regular occurrence. But, so, coffee, yeah. Quick Trip.
Coffee's good. I started doing my own cold brew at home to save money and not have to deal with all the extra sugar and shit.
So how does cold brew work?
I went on Amazon and bought cold brew filters. So they're just basically like cheap cheesecloth bags, and then just pre-ground coffee. Pour the necessary amount of coffee into the bags, and then I have one of those Sun Tea jugs with the little spigot on the bottom. Put the bag in the water, fill it up, put a bag in the water, let it sit for at least 12 hours, if not longer. And then the water just steeps. It steeps just like you would tea, but it takes a lot longer because it's coffee. And then once it's finished, I fill my jug, drink the rest, and then put this in the fridge and then just drink off this. It's pretty nice.
I've had cold brew. I've never made cold brew.
It's a lot better than iced coffee. Iced coffee just is watered down coffee. Cold brew is you actually get the same oomph as coffee, but being cold brew. I really want to get, at some point, I want to get a nitrogen tap so I can make my own nitro brew. That would be legit. But cold brew coffee is pretty awesome. I'm drinking a lot of tea and coffee. Those are my favorites. Tea and coffee, coffee and tea, and then water, obviously. But yeah, try it out. It's pretty awesome. It's fast, and like you can use any coffee that you want, just as long as it's ground. You just can't use whole bean. And I'm not going to buy a coffee grinder, so you can let it. A lot of people let it sit overnight. I let it sit on my counter. Like I'll do it in the evening and then have it the next morning. And then it's a 2-gallon jug, and that'll last me a while. I don't have it every single morning, so it's really nice. The tea bags were pretty inexpensive. I don't think I spent more than $15, and I got I think 20 or 30 bags. So you just cinch it, and then I tie it off again just to make sure that none of the grounds leak out. And like I said, just fill it up and steady as she goes. It's very straightforward.
Steady as she goes.
Just try it out.
Settle down. Have a nice family. Steady as she goes.
That's OK Go, isn't it?
That is the Raconteurs. So,
yeah.
Speaking of music, anything you've been jamming out to? And you've been just, loving it?
Yeah.
Loving every minute of it?
There has. Marty from the Social Club Misfits came out with a lo-fi album that I've been listening to a whole bunch. I really, really like it. It's super, super good. And then a hard metalcore band called For the Likes of You just released some stuff that I'm really digging. Those are the big two right now. I listen to a metric shit ton of podcasts. Normally, if I'm on the road for any reason, I have some podcast going of some sort, and
right.
Primarily like comedy driven podcasts. So whole bunch of those. So not a crazy amount of music, but Social Club Misfits is always on heavy rotation. But since Marty came out with another EP called Marty for President 2, awesome. Christian hip hop guy, really, really good music. So it's not too hype. Yeah, as far as music's concerned, that's pretty much it. Not a whole lot.
Cool.
My girlfriend got me into an electronic band called Kraftwerk. She's gonna listen to this on Saturday and freak out that I'm mentioning it. And I'm gonna get a text saying how happy she is that I talked about it. And it's really fun.
Are they anything like Audubon?
I don't know who Audubon is.
Audubon's the group that's a joke in Big Lebowski.
Oh, okay. Well, she's going to hear this on the podcast. And then she'll
you've ruined everything now.
Did I ruin everything, Aaron?
Maybe.
Real piece of shit, this guy.
Can't really say either way at this point. So the Mothman Festival has been postponed this year due to COVID, but maybe next year, September 18th and 19th, 2021, you might be able to go check out the Mothman Festival.
Yeah. It's
exciting. Guest speakers, vendors, live bands, pics at the Mothman statue.
Did they even do a Mothman cosplay?
If you haven't seen the Mothman statue, you should check out our Instagram page where I've shared a picture of it. It is a menacing 12-foot statue. There's festival food, Mothman hayride cosplay. The Men in Black will be there. There's a TNT bus tours, Mothman 5K. It's kid-friendly and fun for everyone. Check it out at mothmanmuseum.com/mathman-festival.html.
You can also get the Moth Burger.
It's made from real Mothman.
I don't think there's a Moth Burger. There's got to be. There has to be a diner there that has the Moth Burger.
Oh, I'm sure.
Googling it.
And there's also Mothman Museum, which puts on the Mothman Festival, but you can check that out. But give Point Pleasant some money. They probably need it right now. It's a small town. You been watching anything good?
Yeah, all sorts of cool things, Aaron. I'm
oh
a
my
cool
God.
guy.
Did you watch more MASH?
No.
That's a lie.
Asshole.
You know it.
Hey, no, I haven't. Shut up. You don't know. I hate you. No, sadly, as much as I would like to have, I have not. I watched the season 5. They put season 5 of Alone on Netflix. So it's just one season on there, and it happens to be season 5. So I watched that. Alone is a series about 5 survival experts who get placed in the remote wilderness alone, and they have to survive. Last one to leave wins $500,000. The winner made it. I'm not going to say who it was, but the winner made it 77 days in the Arctic alone with only 10 of his own survival items. Everything else this person had to come up with on their own. Hunting, trapping, fishing, building a shelter. They had tarps, but...
Oh, they had tarps.
They had tarps, but just freaking hard.
Someone just left these tarps here randomly.
Well, no, they got to bring 10 items of their own, and they all most of them brought tarps and stuff. It was really wild. A YouTuber that I thoroughly enjoy named Joe Robinette. He was part of season 1, and then I got into watching him do. I like. For those who aren't aware, I like bushcraft survival stuff. I think that stuff's really cool. Prepping, that sort of thing. So I watched season 5 of Alone. It is absolutely incredible. The winner of season 5 actually he's on Joe Rogan Experience podcast a couple of months ago too. So when you find out who the winner is after you watch it for yourself, you can Google that person's name and go watch them on Joe's podcast and talk about the experience. But harrowing, to say the least. That and all but like 4 episodes of the final season of Supernatural, which is season 15. They filmed a bunch of 13 episodes, but they can't film the last couple until after COVID. Because of COVID, they had to suspend it. So they're going to go back and film the last few episodes of the final season of Supernatural. 15 seasons long, Aaron.
That's pretty long. That's 15 years.
It's crazy.
Makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Not really.
It should. Oh, what have I been watching? Oh, well,
Yeah, what have you been watching?
The Watchmen. I just started watching The Watchmen, which is on Hulu right now for
Didn't
a
we do
limited
episode
time.
1 of that already when we were up in Minneapolis?
I watched a couple episodes apparently because I'm 3 episodes in and I still remember stuff from it. Because you went on your date while we were up there, and I was ordered in some Thai food and watched The Watchmen on our free HBO. Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I fell.
You did.
Remember I fell?
Because you went on your date. Yeah. No, I forgot about that. Man,
So-
I wish I didn't find people falling as funny as I laugh because it's hilarious, but at the same time, I do feel bad for that person.
Well, it's because
I feel like, oh, are you all right? Yeah, you did. You did a really slow fall.
It was a controlled fall. November, slick floor. I'm walking into the hallway. I slip. I scream. Oh no! I'm falling. I fall down to my knees, And then I'm on my knees, and then my knees start to hurt, so then I just flop down onto my belly. Sat there and reevaluated my life. Aaron above me, behind me, are you okay? Yeah, you need help up? I don't know, just go into the room and let me deal with this. And I made my way back up and got inside. My pride wasn't hurt, but my knees sure were. So, you watching The Watchmen?
I don't think I've really watched much. I feel like it's been a busy week, even though there hasn't really been much going on.
It's only Monday. Oh, it's Tuesday. What?
I meant last week. As far as in between now and the last recording, I feel like it's been a busy time.
Well, you've had a lot going on. You've been had a lot of projects. You're back to work. So
back to work. This is nuts. That's nuts. Who does that? Who does that? Work. Why are people doing this? Why are we forced to go there? I think the government should just give us money all the time, and we shouldn't work. It sounds reasonable to me, and that is why I'm your candidate for 2020.
That's why we don't talk politics. I'm so ready to go back to work, man. I am.
I thought I was. Honestly, I've come to the realization I would be a lot more productive if I was independently wealthy.
Absolutely.
And didn't have to work. I got so much done I did so many things I wanted to do and finished up so many projects I had worked on.
You started a podcast.
I started a podcast.
I built a desk.
I built a desk.
Started buying parts. You're having a computer soon.
My case is coming in the mail.
You're working on you.
I'm working on me. I'm always working on me. Let's be real.
Diet is looking better. Cooking for yourself real
Diet is looking horrible right now.
Bike rides and walks.
Walks. I started taking walks. Morning walks. 7 a.m. I'm out on the path. Who does that? I started hooking. You find medium incomes. No shame to sex workers. I'm all for it. You do you. Yeah, this has just been... COVID has been probably one of the most growth periods in my entire life. And that was because I didn't have the hassle of work in front of me. So, I need you all to start sending money to my GoFundMe, which is Aaron Works No More at GoFundMe.com. No, I don't even know
Aaron
how GoFundMe
Works
works.
No More. I think that's the second time you've made that joke on this podcast.
Seriously, though, if you want to... I'm looking for people to fund me. So, you give me money, I don't work. We make this a full-time thing. We'll do daily episodes if you pay us enough to get off the...
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Daily, baby.
You know, if they want, they can also go to theballoonking.com and donate directly to me. You can also buy my merch.
Balloonking.com?
Yeah, go to theballoonking.com right now.
Do
it. Do it, loser. Fight me.
Wow. See?
You can go to my merch store. I have a merch store.
This is how he gets when the microphones are off.
You want me to buy you a mouse pad?
No, I don't want you to buy me a mouse pad. Blue Well, which is a great cheer company, gave me a mouse pad. Blue Well.
You hear that, Blue Well?
We want
you to sponsor us.
Sean Patrick wants a chair.
I need a chair!
He'll need to do it so he can stream, and it'll be in all of his streaming videos. The broadcaster in any of this channel is intended for mature audiences. I don't think I'll be supporting this. I have children, sir.
I'll buy you a canvas. You want a canvas?
I really don't have children.
How about a Gildan soft style t-shirt? I'll buy you a canvas.
Buy you a canvas. You want a canvas?
15 inches.
Nobody wants a fucking canvas.
Nobody wants a canvas. So I am starting. The streaming is very close to being ready. Just working the kinks out and should be actually done today. But I go through an OBS software called Streamlabs, as most people do. But they have a merch store. So I have a professionally made logo, and there's like mouse pads and shit, which is kind of cool. I don't get anything from it, so don't bother buying any of it. I don't make anything from it. And
but what if they want to just support you? Be like, hey, watch this guy, and then get subs, because who is this Balloon King?
Yeah,
buy
just
the stuff,
follow,
wear the gear.
Just follow my stream. Like, go to my stream, twitch.tv/theballoonking. Make an account if you don't have one. Click the follow button. That's really it. If I'm online and you want to watch me, awesome. If not, that's cool too. But just hit the follow button. That helps me become an affiliate. Helps me monetize my stream eventually. My goal is to become monetized in a year and to have the affiliate program by this time in 2021. So, what are you reading? Have you done any reading?
I feel like no. I've just nothing. I've been very unproductive in that area of my life, whether reading, listening, or watching. It's just been.
Maybe that means you've been just that much more productive. Ooh,
what have you been reading?
Dean Koontz.
Dean Koontz.
Yeah, Dean Koontz has a series called Odd Thomas. I'm on book 3 now.
I just always think of the Family Guy episode. Yep. Are you Stephen King? No, I'm Dean Koontz. Backs up and runs over him again.
Many people, Family Guy jokes that Dean Koontz is the poor man Stephen King. I find his writing to be better than Steve King. Personal opinion. But, yeah, Dino has a series called Odd Thomas about his hijinks. It's basically dude that can see ghosts. They did a movie about it, Odd Thomas, with Anton Yelchin back in the early 2010s, like 2013, 2014. Sadly, it was an amazing movie, but we won't see any more because Anton passed away. But it's really good. So good. But yeah, I'm reading book 3 called Brother Odd. He gets in a fight with a serial killer, basically. Well, Aaron.
Well,
I would say that it's been a fun episode to record with you.
It has been a blasty blast for me.
I would like to say that.
Well, you could say that. I'm not stopping you from
I would
saying
sure
that.
like to.
Well, I would like it too if you felt the need to.
Felt the need to say what, Aaron?
Whatever you need to say. I want you to be able to say whatever you say. This is your America. So, thanks for listening today. Thanks to everyone who listens to the Sports Heart Podcast. We are popping up on more podcast platforms daily. If you can, please rate and subscribe to us on whatever podcast app you use to listen to us on. And we'll be bringing you bi-weekly podcast. As always, you can listen to us at anchor.fm/WDTP. There's also a button to support this podcast monetarily, and any support is appreciated.
Big thanks to Anchor for providing us with the platform to make this podcast possible. It's a really easy site to use, and if you're thinking about starting your own podcast, we really highly encourage you to check out anchor.fm to do so. If you have any questions or comments, you can also reach out to us at, again, anchor.fm/WDTP. And click on the message button below the podcast description. There you can leave us a voice message or message us on Instagram. We have an Instagram at instagram.com/WDTP podcast. Feel free, again, to follow us there as well, please. Or email us to our Gmail account, wedon'ttalkpolitics@gmail.com. And thank you again so much for listening. We truly appreciate it. Say goodbye, Aaron.
Goodbye, Aaron.